Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom Namo Buddhaya. Hello everyone, before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Andrew Sebelah Pujoro. I'm from Mechanical Engineering Bench 93 at Udayana University. So today I would like to present my presentation about steel product and properties. Next. Okay, there is the table of content we'll discuss. First, classification of steels. However, it is important to point out that steels are classified in many other ways. For example, classification may be based on first, the steel making method, such as open hearth, basic oxygen process, or electric furnace method. And the second, the deoxidation practice during steel making, such as kiln, semi-kiln, chambered, or remote steel. The solidification method, such as mount casting, continuous casting, or component shape casting. The mill product form, such as bar, plate, sheet, strip, tapping, or structural shape. The finishing method, such as hot rolling or cold rolling. The microstructure, such as ferritic, perlitic, and martensitic. The required strength level as specified in standard. The heat treatment such as handling, quenching, and tempering. And thermomechanical process. Quality descriptor such as forging quality and commercial quality. The next, carbon steels. All steels are iron carbon alloys with carbon content from 0.2% to less than 2%. The so-called plain carbon steels contain small amount of manganese and silicon. Carbon steels can be classified further on the basis of carbon content. First, steel containing less than 0.30% C is called low carbon steels or wild steels. Steels containing between 0.20 and 0.60% C is called medium carbon steels. Steel containing more than 0.16% C is high carbon steel. Three machining grades contain one or more additive that enhance machining characteristic and lower machining cost. And next, alloy steels. At alloy steels we have three classifications. First, high strength low alloy steels designed to provide better mechanical properties and or greater resistance to atmospheric corrosion than conventional carbon steels. The second, low alloy steels constitute a category of porous material that exhibit mechanical properties superior to plain carbon steels, resulting from addition of such alloying elements as nickel, chromium, and molybdenum. Next, high alloy steels. Steels with alloying greater than 90% are typically classified as high alloy steel. Stainless steel are the major types of high alloy steels, but two other types are ultra high strength nickel cobalt steels and maraging steels. Alloying elements in steels. Zirconium inhibits grain growth and is sometimes used as deoxidized in kiln steels. Calcium is sometimes used to deoxidate steels. Cerium is added to steel for sulfate shape control. Phosphorus increases strength and hardness of steel but severely decreases ductility and toughness. Hydrogen is an unwelcome alloy addition to any steels. In can render steel susceptible to temper, embrittlement, and all shortness. Carbon is the single most important alloying element in steel. Manganese is normally present in all commercial steel. Silicon is one of the principal dioxiders used in steelmaking. Copper in appreciable amounts can be detrimental to hot working operation and has a moderate tendency of segregate. Chromium is generally added to steel to increase resistance to corrosion and oxidation. Nickel, when used as alloying elements in constructional steels, is a very strengthener. Vanadium is generally added to steel to inhibit grain growth during heat treatment. Titanium increase the strength and hardness of steel by grain size control. Boron is added to fully kill steels to improve hardenability. Next, strength and toughness. Adverse corrosion. Corrosion takes on many forms and can be defined in many ways. For the purpose presented here, the metallurgical definition of corrosion is an electrochemical process whereby metal atoms exchange electrons with atoms in the environment. Next, fatigue stress. When a steel component is subject to repeat or cycling stress, including vibration stress, the part can fail by fatigue. Even though the bulk stress levels acting on the part may be below the yield strength of the steel. Toughness. Steels are generally considered tough material, that is, they can absorb the energy of an impact without breaking. Axle shaft and steering component of an automobile are examples of applications requiring toughness, because fracture of this component during service will be like tightening. Elevated temperature strengths. Carbon steels and low alloy steels with ferrited tire line or ferrited bayonet microstructure are used extensively at elevated temperature in fossil fuel-fired power generating plants, aircraft power plants, chemical processing plants, and petroleum processing plants. Okay, that is the main reverse act of the matrix. Okay, maybe that's all for me. If I have your work, please forget. So thank you. Bye bye.